Hi guys, it's RJ. So today I'm doing the Apple event recap. I know I've been super busy and I'm super sorry I didn't get around to this video, but it's the one I really wanted to do, so it's better late than never. So this is my Apple event recap with the iPhone 7, the Apple Watch 2, and the new AirPods. So I hope you all like it. And I'll be jumping between Apple's website and also Mac Rumors because they had some great live coverage of the event. So I'm just kind of going to give you a blow-by-blow of what happened and a recap of the event. So it started with Tim Cook coming on stage, but they had this fun little video with James Corden and Will Ferrell and all of them coming up, and they did like a carpool karaoke on the way to the event, which was super neat because they're apparently bringing carpool karaoke to Apple Music early next year. Anyways, he gave a few statistics about Apple Music. It has now 17 million paying subscribers and things like that, and just a few things. Neat facts about Apple and their progress. And also, Nintendo came up on stage, and Super Mario is coming to the App Store. So it's the first. It's gonna be like Apple's gonna be the first to go with that, and to get a Nintendo game. A Mario game on the App Store, which is super neat. So it's kind of like an endless runner, but in Mario style. It's coming out holiday next year, and it's gonna have some cool new features. So that should be neat. Also, they introduced real-time collaboration for iWork, so that's kind of copying Google, Microsoft, but it was a nice update. They also were saying they introduced some new things about their co-ed initiative with schools and students and things like that. So that was just a few education updates. Anyways, they started getting into the Apple Watch, and the Apple Watch is the second best-selling watch in the world so far. And not just smartwatches, it's the number one smartwatch, but also the number one watch in the world, which I thought was really cool, and I was really interesting to see that they were only behind Rolex, so that was pretty neat. Then they started talking about the Apple Watch, and they kind of were saying about WatchOS 3 and things like that. And Pokemon Go is coming to the Apple Watch. That's going to be super neat. So basically, they have a specific app where you can track your steps, you can hatch your eggs, you can see your stats, and all these things and run into Pokemon. And it's a super neat app, and I can't wait for that. And it's supposed to be coming up soon. You can swipe Pokestop, see your items, all those things. So I think it's going to be really cool, and that's going to be a really neat update. But then they introduced the Apple Watch Series 2. So it's not Apple Watch 2, it's called Series 2, which I thought was interesting. But it's completely waterproof now. It's swim proof. So you can track your swimming, your water activities, and aerobics, and all those different things. And they tested it. And they made the design so it's able to eject water from the speaker system, which I thought was pretty cool. And also, it has a second gen display, which is 2 times brighter, it's 50% brighter. That's going to help a bunch, especially in direct sunlight, because I know mine's it has a pretty bright display, but it's not the brightest that it could be. And then they're also adding GPS to it, so you don't have to have your phone to rely on. You don't have to rely on your phone for like runs and walks and things like that, and it can map your route and give you more advantages of making you more independent from your phone. And so they kind of had a few apps that take advantage of that, and they added new styles to it. They have a new ceramic model, which is really neat. And they also announced a collaboration between Nike and Apple, which is supposed to be really cool. It has a few Nike running features on it, and it's also in a few distinct colors and models. I thought they were ugly, but I mean, if that's your thing, they're pretty nice, I guess. It starts at 369, and they also have the old one starting at 269 with a new processor upgrade. So then he starts talking about the iPhone. This is probably what we've all been waiting for. And also, before I get into that, I think the Apple Watch was a pretty minor upgrade. I thought after over a year they would have a better upgrade than that. But I mean, it's probably what they need to focus on in software more so than the hardware right now. And I think a lot of people, and they focused a lot on health. There wasn't many features not dedicated to health. But I feel like there could have been one more thing or something else they could have added to it to make it a compelling upgrade. So I'm not sure if I'll be getting that, but I mean, it's there if that's what you all want. So also they jumped right into the iPhone. They started talking about iOS 10, which is pretty neat. They had a lot of good points they covered on, which I really like. And they introduced the iPhone 7, and this is probably what we've all been waiting for. But as you can see, when they first introduced it, it was super glossy. It has dual cameras, so it has two new colors: glossy black and matte black. I personally like matte black better, but it has 10 major new features. And then they invited Phil Schiller, who does most of the iPhone updates, up on stage. So basically, it has a new design. The new glossy black color is called Jet Black, and the other one is just called Black. But it's like a matte black, so I think everyone's been referring to it as matte black. And of course, you have your gold, silver, rose gold as well. And they're repositioning the antenna bends, so you can't really even see it on the glossy or jet black color, but they're blended in way more on the black models. They also, with the home button, it's a new home button, so it's not an actual clicking home button, but it's one like on the Macs which uses force touch or haptic feedback to make it feel like you're pressing a button and doing these commands, but it's not a button. So it's one less thing to break, and I guess one more thing they were able to make it closer to waterproofing. So basically, it's supposed to be customizable. You're supposed to be able to do different things with it, and I'm excited to see how that works. A lot of the reviews that have come out so far have said that it takes a bit of getting used to, but I think Apple's preparing us to get rid of the home button altogether. So that should be interesting. Also, it's IP67 protection standard. I was so happy when I saw this. I don't know about you all, but it's waterproof, it's water resistant, and dust proof, I believe. So basically, it's IP67. That means it can go 3 feet underwater for 30 minutes, technically, but water damage is not covered in the warranty. So, I mean, you're taking it at your own risk, but this is basically for, like, if it's raining, you don't have to worry about your phone, or you dunk it in the pool or the dishwater, or, whatever. You have that kind of peace of mind. I thought that was really nice because a lot of people need that, and water damage is a huge thing for iPhones. Then they started going to the camera. The iPhone 7 has an improved single lens camera with optical image stabilization. So they both have optical image stabilization now, a larger 1.8 aperture, 50% more light, a new 6-element lens, a new 12 megapixel sensor that's 60% faster and 30% more energy efficient. And what I'm most excited about is the quad LED True Tone flash that is 50% more light that can compensate for artificial lighting with a new flicker sensor. I'm super excited about that because the flash is really great in the iPhone, so improving that and making it brighter and better at gauging the color in the room is a big thing. They have a new sensor processor, a 7 megapixel FaceTime HD camera, which I'm looking forward to see how it stacks up against the 5 megapixel, new capture and editing APIs, noise reduction, image stabilization, and a wide color gamut. So we can get way more colors, and from the initial reviews, it looks like it's way more vibrant. So I'm looking to see how that plays out. Also, the iPhone 7 Plus, which we've been waiting for, has two 12 megapixel cameras. One's a wide angle lens, which we have in all of our cameras to capture as much of the photos we can, and the next is a telephoto. So one is 56 millimeters telephoto, and one is 28. So what that means, it has optical zoom up to 2 times. So basically, it'll switch seamlessly between those two lenses, so you can get closer to the photo without sacrificing any quality. So this is like what you have in DSLRs and professional cameras, and even though it's not up to that much par with them, it's super amazing just because you have that up to 2 times. That's going to make photos incredibly better since you'll be able to get in closer without sacrificing quality. And also with the assistance of digital zoom, it'll be able to get in up to 10x versus 5x on your iPhone now, and the quality will be dramatically better. Also, they were able to create a bokeh effect with those two lenses. It's supposed to create a depth map of the people and actually create amazing portraits with a blurred background, like on high quality professional cameras. And that will not be until an update later this year, but I'm really interested to see how that works, and I hope they do extend that functionality to other photos and things like that. They also upgraded the display, so it's not more pixel density and it's not crisper, but it's 25% brighter, way wider color gamut, color management, 3D touch, and it's supposed to be cinema standard. So, but the initial reviews have said it's super great. I can't wait to see how the review stacks up, especially against the Galaxies, just because their screens are so great. It also comes with stereo speakers. So this is funny because you would think removing the headphone jack on the bottom part, they would use that to make another speaker, which it looks like, but that's actually a microphone. The one speaker on the right is a speaker, and the one on the left is used as a microphone. And they turned the earpiece to make it louder to make stereo speakers. So that's interesting. I can't wait to see how that stacks out. It's supposed to be around two times louder. So that's a welcome upgrade, and I'm definitely thankful they did something like that. Then it's the removal of the headphone jack, probably the most talked about the talked about controversy of the iPhone 7. They removed the headphone jack. They set it to courage, but not from a more technical standpoint. They had to get rid of a bunch of things to put that in. So, like for the bigger camera, the bigger battery, haptic feedback, all these features, they said they needed to get rid of this. And since it was such an old technology, and there were better ways of doing it, they said they wanted to get rid of it. So basically, you can connect they got rid of it. You can connect, a pair of earpods are going to come with the phone. You can connect through the lightning port. So it has an audio signal you can get through there, and you can connect through the lightning connector to get your audio. So there are lightning headphones that come bundled with that, and they will also have a connector, so you can plug that in, an adapter, a new dongle that you can plug with that in. And probably why they did this the most is Apple's wireless headphones. They're called AirPods. They're these little things. They're basically the AirPods without wires. They're called AirPods. I'm not sure how I feel about these, but this is probably what they're trying to make a push for, a wireless iPhone. So basically, they're completely cord-free, and they have a new W1 chip that provides a more reliable wireless connection. They can sense when they're in your ear, and only play one or the other, whichever you have in your ear. You can double tap to enable Siri, and it reduces external noise. It's up to 5 hours of listening on a single charge, and a compact charging case delivers up to 24 hours of battery life. And they also charge in less than 15. You can get 3 hours of charge, I believe, in 15 minutes or something around that. But then they seamlessly work between your Apple devices. All you do is pop them open, and they connect to your Apple device. So I thought that was super neat. But they cost $159, I believe. Yeah, so I'm not super excited about those. But they might catch on, I'm not sure, but they look interesting, so that should be interesting to see. They also introduced a new line of Beats, also powered with the W1 chip. Then they have the A10 Fusion chip in the new iPhone. So of course, it's a new chip. It's faster. They say 40% faster processing than the A9 chip in the iPhone 6s, and 2 times faster than the A8 chip in older iPhones. 50% graphics performance, and all of these things. And of course, they showed off some new games that showcase that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it is. But it probably won't be a huge boost over those previous iPhones. But what we care about most is this the longest battery life ever in an iPhone. So with that new chip, they have way better battery life. The iPhone 7 is going to get 2 more hours than the iPhone 6s, and the iPhone 7 Plus is going to get 1 more hour than the iPhone 6s Plus. So I'm looking forward to see that. The iPhone 7 starts at $649 in silver, gold, rose gold, black, and jet black. 32 gigabyte, 128, and 256. And yes, they finally got rid of 16 gigabytes, so they doubled their storage across the board. So now you have 32, 128, and 256. And the iPhone 7 Plus starts at $769, so they made it $20 more expensive, but for the same colors and same storage capacities. And also you can get them on the iPhone upgrade program. And yeah, so that pre-order began September 9th, and it releases in 2 days or 1 day, September 16th. And iOS 10 and watchOS 3 became available yesterday, but are going to be available September 13th. And the AirPods will cost $159 and be available in late October. Then we had a performance by Sia, and that was basically it. So that was a pretty concise and quick version of the event. If you want, I recommend checking out the whole event on YouTube or Apple's website. It was a super great event. I was super excited. I was kind of disappointed in the watch. I felt like it could have been better, and they didn't do as much as they could. I'm not sure if I'll be getting it. I probably will end up getting it, but it didn't offer that many compelling upgrades over the original Apple Watch. I was kind of disappointed in that. And I feel like it doesn't offer a bunch of upgrades to most people, so those who have the Apple Watch, the original, don't really have much of a reason to upgrade besides the new processing power and making things a lot smoother. The iPhone 7 I was very impressed with. A lot of people thought it would be a very boring upgrade because of the Apple's 10th anniversary iPhone coming next year, but I was super impressed by it. I really liked it. It was super great. My favorite features, I mean, the design looks great, the new colors, water resistance, that was a super key point. Finally making that 32 gigabytes, those new stereo speakers, the longer battery life, the performance, and the cameras. The cameras are so incredible. I cannot wait to get my hands on them. And also seeing how the new haptic feedback works out in the home button. So they had some this was a pretty great iPhone upgrade. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'll have a bunch of new videos coming out for that when I get it on launch day. But I'm super excited about that. And the AirPods, I'm still unsure of how I feel about them. I feel like most people would just use the original headphones just because they come in the box, just because that's what most people do. And I think the headphone jack will blow over. And as it progresses to, I guess, we all adjust to Apple's reality of a wireless future, a lot more people will copy them on that. So I thought it was a really great presentation. I'm super excited. Some more videos will be coming out soon. But that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Later.